Here we are. California is about to create hordes of new homeless people sleeping in tents and pooping in grocery stores, needing handouts. AB 5, that's the heartless bill. It is going to gut the gig economy. Goes into effect in 2 weeks, and freelancers are hosed. There was a time in this country when we celebrated the hustle. The more you worked, the more opportunities you had to show off your bitchin' skills and carve your own path. But now, California hates the groove. I see how it is. The bill was meant to shore up shortcomings in ride-sharing and delivery services. Think Uber and Postmates. But now these companies are going to tank the flexibility their employees love in the name of fairness, and it will have disastrous effects on a number of industries. Lyft will need 300,000 fewer drivers in order to be in compliance with the new law, and I hate that word. It is a freedom-killing, soul-sucking, fascist word that smacks of unintended consequences and heartless liberty violations. Vox Media contracts hundreds of eager freelancers, but not no more. Instead of the 200 bloggers and writers they've used in the past, they'll pare it down to just 20 full and part-timers. And that means the product is going to suck because the quality will go down with a tenth of the people doing the work. The liberal jesters at Vox once championed the law with a headline, "Gig workers win in California is a victory for workers everywhere." Except for the newly unemployed, who are now, by definition, not working at all. 95% of Lyft drivers say schedule flexibility is extremely important or very important. Alas, they'll be forced to work a set amount of hours with fewer drivers and higher prices. Thanks, Gavin Newsom. Hope you're proud of yourself. You'll never be president. I'll never vote for you. Hack. I guess we'll all go back to stinky taxis and hope we get where we're going with no rating accountability, so medallion owners get a return on their investment after buying shady, fake do-gooder politicians. And we can grab our own food and go back to reading encyclopedias or stone tablets. Progressive politicians can't let well enough alone. As soon as they see something working, they obsessively work to break it. Consequences be damned. Damn you, fuss budgets. And that's the memo. Hi, I'm right here. Curtsy. Other states have already started considering their own bills that target the gig economy, and Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, bunch of commies, they have endorsed a plan to do the same thing nationally. That is awful. So why won't these big government lefties leave the burgeoning economy alone? Joining me tonight to discuss, capitalist pig, hedge fund manager, and Fox News contributor, Jonathan Hoenig. Welcome back, Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm glad you're fired up about this, Kennedy. I'm fired up, too. You could see this coming literally miles away. It is completely predictable. The more government regulates employment, the less employment you're going to have. And this California law, of course, signed into law by Gavin Newsom, a Democratic governor, it is going to completely decimate that gig economy, which has transformed not just California's economy, Kennedy, the whole country, whether it be the flexibility, the opportunity to afford it to literally millions of people. This law is going to destroy all of that and have real severe economic consequences.
Of course.
Sure, for California, but for a lot of hardworking individuals as well.
And, you know, it's interesting because there are people, believe it or not, who actually like doing different jobs and trying different things, and writers who enjoy working for different publications and writing in a different voice on different subjects, but they can't do that. And many of them have taken to social media to complain about the fact that they have been relieved of their duties or told their positions no longer exist. And there's no way that these companies will be able to offer what their customers want when they are forced into this compliance. So what are they supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, Kennedy, a job is an agreement between an employer and an employee. This is government, Gavin Newsom, bringing a gun, literally bringing a gun to that relationship. And it's not only just Uber and Lyft, as you pointed out. It's freelance journalists, it's editors, it's writers, it's truck drivers. So the net result, of course, is failure and firing. Mm-hmm. You mentioned Vox Media. They had championed this as a great victory. You've got 200 people out of work there. And let's not even just talk about the cost to the tens and thousands of employees and employers just trying to figure out exactly what this law is. The net result, of course, is a loss of productivity. And, you know, Kennedy, it makes me think back to the late 1960s when Steve Jobs, of course, of Apple, Steve Jobs at 13 years old went and got a job from Bill Hewlett from Hewlett-Packard at just 13 years old. You think that type of activity would go on nowadays? No way. The nanny state Democrats would never allow a 13-year-old, God forbid, to actually be working. So that's what's destroyed opportunity, innovation, and all because of these nanny state Dems.
That's right. And they get in the way of innovation. And, you know, maybe the economy has to evolve. And sometimes there are aspects that aren't perfect and we have to go through growing pains. But you can't do that when you put on these unnatural constraints. And the unintended consequences are going to be very dire indeed. Jonathan Hoenig, thank you so much.
Be well, Kennedy. Thanks.